this damn EGR shit. What's up, guys? It's Kai with TK Speed Shop, and today, or in this video, because we're gonna stop saying today, we are going to be getting these 302 heads off of this roller 318 and pretty much prepping them for our other 318, and we might do some painting here or there, just some prep work, some stuff to do in the meantime while we get the frame and everything situated. And man, I'm not really trying to tear up much, but I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I don't really care to keep any of this stuff. So, let's bring you guys in this train wreck. So, we got a lot of stuff we got to tear down. I don't know if I want to show you guys, because it's gonna be a lot of blasphemy going on, because I'm cutting a lot of this stuff off. But we got to get these heads off. That way we can get some paint and stuff ready, and we can get this one snatched apart and on an engine stand, and we can start working with stuff from there. Because we gotta get the ball moving. I was sick last week. I'm still a little under the weather, but I'm not what I was. So about a week or so, we got to get the ball moving, guys, because I want to have all this done and back together like within the next month or two. And at the rate that I was going, that wasn't going to happen. So let's go ahead and finish clipping this stuff apart. I just snatched this off. I don't know if that was like a homemade gasket or what, but that's a lot of RTV. Yeah, that's a homemade gasket. That's like paper. Oh man, and all these damn dirt dollars. I can't even see the dang manifold bolts, guys. What I'm thinking on these valve covers is we can probably shake these back, clean them up, and give them like an old school kind of appeal. I'm not a fan of the middle air Mopar so far, because I didn't notice a lot of these bolts are either standard or metric, and it's kind of aggravating. Not going to lie about that. What's your favorite kind of beef jerky? Put that down in the comment section below. Okay, after we done disassembled all that nice bundle of crap, I gotta start getting this front drive apart. So let me set you guys up. But you see what I mean about these valve covers? I kind of want to keep these valve covers, sand them down really good, and throw some paint on it. If you don't know, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll wait until we actually do that, and then you can make your comments then. Anywho, onward. Hey, that's pretty cool. Might keep this. That's the alternator. I'm not a big fan of this accessory drive on this thing. What size bolt is that? Probably a dang 10. AC crap. How do we get this up? Where's my crowbar? Couldn't find my crowbar, but I found my purse. How this? All right. Get out of here, small pump. Snap that bolt clean the fuck off. To the point to where we could probably go ahead and take these heads off now. That's a lot of crap we done stripped off. That's a lot of crap. So let's readjust. Okay. All right, let's see what 64,000 miles actually looks like. That don't look bad. Oh, wow. Let me get my flashlight so we can get down in the bores. Well, I'll be goddamn. Get my flashlight. Even look at them gaskets. The inside of this damn thing is literally freaking clean. This is probably a 60,000 mile motor. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and just put these back on real quick because I'm about to get ready to take this intake off. I've already taken the bolts out of that as well. So I don't want to get trash, more trash up in this dang motor than what I already possibly probably got in it. So the least I can do is zip this back on real quick. This is definitely a 60,000 mile motor, guys. Look at that. What the hell? Guys, now I'm starting to have cold feet because we got that one, which we got the camshaft in this one, and this one don't got a camshaft. But I don't want to go through the trouble of putting the camshaft in this one or taking the camshaft out of that one and putting it in this one. Oh man. Because this would be ideal. This one seems like it would be more ideally worth putting together. I don't know, guys. This kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. This is clearly a more ideal motor. Fuck. Remember how I told you I wasn't a Mopar guy? Well, let's get down. So upon inspection, I do not have 302 heads, but instead I have the 714 heads. So I just did a quick search online and they're like these, they're listed as Magnum heads, but they're LA heads. Comment down below. I'm gonna do a lot of research on these, but we're taking them apart at this point. But I gotta do some research and see what's the dealio on these, because I was under the assumption that a Roller 318 had 302s. I'm guessing because this is a 91, 92, so it's so close to the Magnum years. I don't know. The push rods though, I did do that search. They are. I mean, they got the holes. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna take the head off. Guys, it's kind of crazy how much time just kind of slips you by. So we got the heads off. Remember, there's 714 heads. That's cool. So that's the pile of crap that we've taken off today. And this is that 64,000 mile 318. So let's double down. We're gonna build or R&R that other 318 real quick. Now, as I fought myself back and forth not to really use this one, despite how clean it is. It's a roller block. I'm just gonna leave this alone, and this is gonna be the motor that we do a stroker out of. Now, with that being said, off camera, I went ahead and separated that 727 because basically what we just did over there, we was doing over here, but I skipped all the boring stuff. It is now dark outside, by the way. So we need to get all this stuff off. That way we're down to essentially a lone block. And I guess tomorrow we'll go ahead and we'll get all these cleaned up, get all that jazz taken care of, and get that prepped. We gotta clean them up, put some paint on them, yada yada yada. And I don't know, let's see where the day takes us. But figured you don't want to see me take all this apart, because that's essentially what we're about to do, is take all this crap apart. And I'll bring you back when we take the intake off. How about that? It's a new day. I know I was supposed to bring you back with the intake off. Well, we're going through like some hurricane weather at the moment, so everything's kind of like bleh. But I also did some stuff off camera, and now I can kind of show you the surprise. So, again, you remember, we completely disassembled the roller 318. Well, I say disassembled. We took the top end off. This was the aftermath. But we're painting it. We're painting it Alpine green. Now this is already, it's been like several days since since I brought you guys back. But right now it's been sitting here, it done baked, everything's good. You can practically eat off of it. There is no clear coat on this yet. I'm gonna throw a clear coat on this once I get everything assembled. Now, we got the heads. I did a little bit more research considering these are 714s and not the 302 heads. I did all that research for nothing because they're basically 302 heads, just a different casting. So, we're gonna be rocking these heads. We got some packages to go through, and these are the original valve covers. Now, I sanded these down. They took a bath in some degreaser overnight. And then I came back and I pressure washed and got all the gunk off, and I tried something new. So, yeah. So, I didn't use this, but this is the example. Raptor sells gray bed liner, okay? In a rattle can formation. This primer, this, that, the other. So, what I decided to do was I decided to spray the gray bed liner stuff on here, which gave it that texture, and then I coated it with the Alpine green. I think that looks pretty cool. I took all my little stuff out because we're gonna clean all that stuff up and reuse it, because I want this motor to have like a stock appearance. So we're gonna get ready to unbox some stuff, and then I'm gonna kind of show you the game plan of the image that we're going for with this block, because I think that Alpine green will look perfect. Even though it's not a factory color, I think that'll look perfect behind that. But I done talked to you all for like 2.5 minutes. Let's get them boxes up. All right. Let's start with package number 1. Ah. We're gonna do all this painting. We might as well get a nice fancy new converter. So that's our converter. We'll put this on after we clear the motor. Of course, you guys already know about the air gap intake. We're already in the process of making this look fancy. So of course we had to get another water pump. That's nice. Now some red Permatex. Some intake manifold bolts. Oh, these are these 1/4" set screws. We're gonna have to plug these freaking, let me show you. While we got all this apart, we got those 1/4" set screws because we're gonna have to drill these out and we're gonna have to tap them and plug them. So I think I ordered a dang tap just because I didn't want to have to look through all my crap for one. Yep. Got to drill and tap. Now what about this one? That's the Mr. gaskets I was talking about that are the 028, part number 1121G. Those are the ones that I was talking about. These right here, combined with these cylinder heads on that, should theoretically give us 9-to-1, if not close. So, now that everybody's here, let's go ahead and go back to what I told you guys originally. Take this intake off. All right. Yeah. I guess while I'm already here, we need to see if these intake bolts are actually going to work. Survey says they work just fine. That's wonderful to hear. By the way, these are small block Chevy bolts, but they do indeed work. That's awesome. Now, if you look down up in here, everything seems to be okay for the most part. Like, everything looks good. There's no rust. Everything still looks as if, you know, factory. So with that being said, we gotta get these valve covers off. Have you guys heard the new Linkin Park song yet? I gotta say, I dig it. I'm going with the new sound. I'm not negative about it, cause a lot of people, there's been a lot of controversy on Emily Armstrong. I mean, to be 100% honest, I don't condone anything that she may or may not have not done. But I can't use that as a takeaway from the music. The music's actually pretty solid. But I'll hold my critique until that new album comes out. This is a pop quiz. I'm gonna ask you about this probably several videos from now. So if you listen to Linkin Park, or you're a music lover like me, I genuinely wanna know what your thoughts are. I'm gonna use my tray right here. Come on now. Oh God, listen. Come on, get up out of there. We got things to do. Get on up out of there. I need a spot to put this shit in. Congratulations, valve cover. You are now one of my elite employees. And just like that, my shoe is full of coolant. Guys, we don't even gotta resurface this because this damn thing wasn't together long enough to, I could reuse that damn gasket. Huh. Now my feet soaked. We can reuse it. This is going back on the shelf. Cylinders are still good. Nice ridge. I'm saying all this crap like you guys can see this. Let me bring you in. Everything still looks pretty dang good. So, with that being said, we run it like that. Let's get that gasket on here and get this head on here, and we can look at our product. So boom, that'll be that. Okie dokie. What I'm gonna do, just temporarily, is I'm gonna put that long stud in here just to have something to hold this on. See what I'm saying? Okay. That's to hold this on because, we gotta have something. You know, you see what I'm talking about? Gotta have something. I'm liking that though, I really am. Absolutely nothing. This one right here, I believe, did not go all the way down. That one went down. Okay, maybe I was just hallucinating. Now, I've been told that these bolts, all of these, they do not protrude into the water jackets. And if I remember correctly, because I am a forgetful person, when I put this motor back together, I didn't put any kind of sealant on those head bolts. So, guess what? We're not putting any sealant on those head bolts. All right. Now it's time for me to look up torque specs, because I do not remember torque specs on these heads. We just need to double check to see if they're all snug a lug. Like I was saying before I was interrupted, it's time to torque these. They get 50 first, then they get 105. So we're gonna set our wrench up to 50. And they go in a star pattern. But I did lube the threads themselves. Where's my towel at? I'm gonna bring you in. Okay. Now, front of the engine, this dimple in the rocker shaft, front of engine, that's where that needs to be. You're gonna have a dimple just like you have one on this one as well. See how there's no dimple on this one? This is the passenger side, but there's a dimple on the rear. That's for the oil. These oil, the oil comes up through there, through the rocker shaft, and goes back down. Very, 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 very important on these. So, we got this one set. You can see, push rods all went in like they supposed to. Nothing looks bent, nothing looks warped. You can tell what part of the cam's on what load by spinning them. So we already know we're on this one. I like to take the time to like look up under here, make sure everything's fine, make sure nothing looks wonky. Nothing looks wonky. I like to take the time to look down here. Let me get my phone so I can give you some light so you can see what I'm seeing, wherever that may be at. Again, that's that notch. You see that notch right there? Clear as day. Anyway, I like to look down in here. Make sure that my push rods are indeed centered. Just like I like to come back around and I like to check to see if my push rods are indeed centered. And they all are. So that's how we're gonna run this thing. I need to clean that up, by the way. That's some coolant. We're gonna discuss how coolant got in there as well, because I know exactly how coolant got in there, and that's my bad. But anyway, we pretty much got this assembled. We're gonna go ahead and do everything we just did to this side, but I'm gonna do it on the other side off the camera unless I run into an issue. Okay, so I got the other head back on, and I went ahead and I kind of want to see what it would look like. So I slid the intake on and I put one of the water pump. I put the water pump on. And I loosely threaded the bolt just to see what we looking like. And guys, that looks minty. Oh man, that looks freaking great. Oh man, this just, all of this makes me smile. Ignore all this catastrophe that we got going on. That literally makes it all worth it. Every last bit of this is worth it now. If I wasn't motivated, I am motivated more so. Anyway, we need to get this intake taken care of. So, got this off the Amazons, and they got both the patterns for the LA and the Magnum. We need to block these Magnum ports. So, they send us, I might have already lost them. There they go. They sent us these plugs. And basically, you're supposed to take these plugs and whack them in the side that you don't use. So let's get the whacking. So this is probably not required. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this RTB. And we're about to make us a little spot here. What I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by the GoPro turning off is I take a little bit of gasket sealer and I put it around the hole and I just beat it in with the hammer. I mean, you can see the little puddle of gasket. That's just to ensure that I don't have no issue. You see what I'm saying? So get your little gasket sealer, hammer these in. A lot of guys on Amazon talked about how these don't fit. They fit. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, well, bam. Let me drive this one in, then I'll bring you guys back because my GoPro's dying. All right, so we need to prep this. I've already scraped off all the RTV on the China walls. What we need to do is we need to get some blue RTV around these ports for the water jackets. So I like to have these sticking up. But let's get some. Woo! Catastrophe has finally caught up with me and my China-made parts. Okay, so let me kind of simulate what just happened. We don't got no gasket material on here or no distributor or any of that because I've already scraped the gasket material off. All right, let me square this up for you, or attempt to square it up for you. I'm going to use my phone as a reference. See that hole right there? Well, you really can't see it from that angle. Maybe you can. All right. That one's not lined up. That one is lined up. I can get, theoretically, what I'm trying to explain to you is I can get one side lined up, but I cannot get the other side to line up. So clearly there's a casting issue. Now, I'm pretty damn sure that I could get a Dremel, hollow those holes a little bit, get the right angle on them, and boom, problem solved. But at the same time, this kind of ticks me the hell off. But I can't really be mad. Excuse me, it's raining outside, hurricane. I can't really be mad because, I mean, I only paid 130 bucks for the intake. So, I mean, you kind of get what you pay for. I'll just know for future reference not to buy another one of these Chinaman lemon stepper pepper intakes. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just ignore this because now I have to figure out, do I want to strip the paint off this Edelbrock Performer and use it? I really don't want to use it. Or figure something out. Anywho, I'm about to go ahead and cover this stuff up. I'm about to shoot some clear on it and I'm gonna call it a night. We'll just come back tomorrow morning after I done slept and had a day of work to think about it. New day, same problem. No bueno. So I'm not even gonna try fooling with that. I'm not gonna Dremel it. What I did do is I went down to my local parts house, picked up some aircraft removal. This stuff works wonders. I've been spraying my old intake, trying to get this Hemi orange off. And as you can see, it's already starting to like cake up and wrinkle and crap. So we're pretty much gonna use that intake. I'm gonna blast it clean. I might throw a coat of paint on it, and then we're gonna slap it back onto this. I think I got some, I got some spare intake gaskets because I've already kind of glued these on here. And I went ahead and put the little plugs and stuff back on and put the little wire loom holders back on it. Guys, it's looking pretty dang swanky. And I need to clean up in here. It's looking pretty god dang swanky, if I have to say so myself. But, you know. Anywho, let's get this knocked off. And boom, boom. Huh. This intake used to be red, apparently. Look at that. Used to be reddish. Anywho, I'm gonna give it a couple more. I don't know if you can see all that. Now you can. I'm gonna give it a couple more little. Now we're gonna let that percolate, and then I'll bring you back after I zip zap that again. Well, we back, guys, and woo, it's been an interesting 2 days. So we got everything tidied up, okay? So I knocked off that intake. I got that intake stripped down. I got it cleaned. And this is the finished product. Man, that looks nice. I went ahead and shot an abundant amount of clear over this entire thing, as you can tell from the obvious shine. Yes, shine. This is very nice. Now it's time for us to start putting on our gasket materials. I'm actually going to use these cork gaskets. And before you guys say, just put a dab of RTV down there. Yeah, you could put a dab of RTV down there. But there's nothing wrong with a cork gasket. I mean, I got cork gasket on my oil pan. Don't got any oil drip issues. The thing is you just gotta make sure that it's right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put like a thin layer of gasket maker on the block. And then I'm gonna put a thin layer of gasket maker on the contact surfaces. Essentially, we're sandwiching this. in between all that. That'll make it mint and we won't have a leak. So let me get you guys set up and we can go ahead and do that, because we got to redo our intake gasket as well, because we had to peel it off and then strip the RTV, or the blue RTV that we did put on it, because of the other intake. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff situated, because I'm about ready to button all this stuff up and we look at what else we got to discuss for next projects. Something, I don't know, guys. It's been a whirlwind of a couple days. This motor's giving me a whirlwind of emotions. Let's just get it done at this point. All right, because I don't want to scratch anything, even though it's gonna get scratched sooner than later, let's just go ahead and I can go ahead and lay my gaskets down. Now we just need to put 4 bolts in the corners. That way I can go ahead and have this sealing. We'll go back and we'll put thread sealant on this stuff later. The goal is to make sure that the corners of this seats and sealed to this intake. That's the goal. Why is it so important? Because, again, I'm trying to make sure my intake seals. You see what I'm saying? So, because I'm gonna pull these bolts back out on a later date before we get situated. Because I gotta put thread sealant on these bolts, because these bolts go through the water jacket. What I'm realistically doing is I'm making 100% sure. You see how I got that? This cork gasket, it's like a sandwich. I'm realistically trying to make sure that this seals completely. So, anywho, let me go ahead and smoke some RTV on this so I can go ahead and get camera cut off. Let me get some RTV. Let me smoke on this water neck, and I'll bring you guys back once everything's back together as far as like how it's gonna look. Okay. Let's see, I had to spare gasket, so this will probably work. That'll work. That'll work. Half inch. Yeah, that gave it a little flair too. I like that. With pretty bolts. I had those spare bolts from something. Oh, I gotta go back and tell you that those small block Chevy bolts for the intake, they don't fit. So now I got small block Chevy bolts that I'm probably gonna use as accessory bolts for something random down the road. Oh, if you're looking at this, yeah, I kind of mocked up a carburetor and an air cleaner just for aesthetics, so I can see kind of like what we got. Oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil the fun here. We will not be running a carburetor on this setup. We're actually gonna be running an EFI setup from Aces, but that'll be for another video, not right now. But I don't know if I want to go ahead and assemble this accessory drive now, or do I want to wait? Cause I got some other stuff that I need to clean up, guys. Cause I got the motor mounts over here soaking in degreaser. I got this, not this one. This is the one that I was running, and I no longer want to run this one anymore, but I want to run this one. But I gotta clean these brackets up. And then I got our alternator hanging out. I gotta clean that bracket up. And I still gotta figure out, do I wanna run those? Do I wanna buy aftermarkets? I might just run those because we already got them. Then I gotta get bolts cleaned up and put into these, because if you didn't know, all these holes get cooling on them, so I gotta seal them. And man, I don't know, I'll bring you back in a minute though. God, I feel like this video's all over the place, literally. My bad. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of not gonna lie, guys, I'm kind of cooked this video. We're pretty much out of time. Man, I don't really feel like I accomplished much, but I know I have. I don't know, guys, it just feels like I let you guys down this video. But let's go ahead and go over everything, because this video literally has been all over the place, and I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so, yeah, I do. So first, we had the donor 318, guys. We completely stripped the entire bottom end down. We wanted those 714 heads because we found out they wasn't 302, but they're 714s, literally the same dang thing. Okay, gotcha. We stripped that down. We took all the accessories off. Then we stripped down the top end of our 318 that originally came out of the Dodge. And we ran into a couple issues, okay? So we stripped this one down in attempts to run this yin yang stepper air gap intake. That thing didn't make the case. Maybe I got bad sweatshop workers. Anyway, so in the midst of all that, we stripped the OG intake that we was running, which is nothing but an L Brock Performer. Basically, it's, from my understanding, it's the exact same as a regular 4-barrel intake that Mopar made. The only benefits you get is aluminum. So, anywho, we stripped that one. We painted it in cast iron. We painted a block in a alpine green. It's not a factory color, but it makes me feel good inside. So we took the original valve covers and we cleaned them up with our wire holders and all that sorts. We took the accessory drive. I did this off camera. So this accessory drive, the alternator bracket's from this motor. The power steering bracket is from the donor motor. I took this, I gave it a degreaser bath and let it just sit, and all the cake came up off of it. So I mounted it on. We've already put thread sealing on all our water pump bolts because they go through the timing cover into the water jacket. And other than that, I just kind of been mocking stuff up, guys. And that pretty much wraps this up. I got to get back on the ball, guys. I got to get back rolling. I have determined, I don't know if I've already said this or not, but we will be running this. I can't tell if that's a 2-prong or a 3-prong. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 3 prongs. So this has to be lock up and overdrive. I don't know if this is an A500 or A15, A518 or whatever it's called. Again, if you guys hadn't found this out, I'm not a Mopar guy, but I am trying to be one. So we're going to be using that to give this overdrive. I've done some research. There's a kit that they sell that put the solenoids on the side to control all of this. So I'll be ordering that. We're probably going to use that converter because I'm going to be honest, guys, I do not want to spend $1,300 on a lockup OD converter for that transmission. Mopars are literally out of their mind for the amount of money that you have to spend. We're trying to do this as cheap as possible so we can get all this stuff back together for our shop truck. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the video, guys. I want to thank you if you made it this far in the video, because I promise you it has been chaotic and it has literally been everywhere. I have changed outfits I don't know how many times. It may not seem like it to you guys, but it's literally been 6-7 days since we even stripped that apart. So we've had that. We've had a hurricane come through. It has been chaotic, but I want to thank you guys for all the love and support. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, guys. We're climbing. We're really climbing, and we're getting there. And it's awesome. But enough rambling. Be sure to drink plenty of water. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Dude, I'm so freaking pumped. Like, look at that. Would you just look at it?